live. Okay, so I came on just a little bit early just because we're going to start in like 3 or 4 minutes. So just know that we're not starting yet. But if you're here, just chat, say something on the side so I know who's joining us. And then if you just want to get on, like if you have a playlist or anything that you'd like, just some calming music, some really nice, soft, whatever makes your mind calm. And just kind of stop and, just kind of pause and whatever. So just kind of get in that mindset right now. I've had a couple of people that have said, "Oh, I can't find you." So just keep looking. I think the tag is live : restore yoga with Crystal or something in today's date. So I'm going to give everybody just a few more minutes, and I'm talking like the people that are looking or can see this, but they can't. Anyway, okay, so here's what I have though. So today's Restore Yoga. So it's Restore Yoga is sometimes like what I like to call a guided nap. So I've got a bunch of cushions, pillows, grab whatever you want. I have some hot tea up there. Whatever makes you feel comfortable in your space, that's what you do. So this is all about easy. Nothing should hurt. Nothing should be painful. I should say that sometimes when we stretch our muscles, we can feel a bit of tension and discomfort. That's okay. Discomfort's okay. Pain is not. So wherever you are, in your space, gentle reminder if you ever have any pain. So pain like sharp, stabby pains or, numbness or anything like that. I want you to ease out of whatever pose that you're in. But, just feeling your muscles lengthen and stretch, that's just part of doing some Restore Yoga. So the cool thing about Restore Yoga, if you've never done Restore Yoga, is that I'm going to move this just a little bit because we might have guests, is that we stay in poses for quite a while, like 4 or 5-ish minutes sometimes, usually no less than 2 minutes though. If there are any, hi Sharon, yay! So is Chris there too? I want to make sure Chris gets a yoga shout out if he's there. If there is anything, Sharon or anybody, if there's anything, I had a request earlier from my friend Jenny. She wants hips, legs. If there's anything that you are feeling particularly tight, neck, arms, whatever, we're going to try and do the whole body. If there's anything you feel like you're particularly tight, then let's see. Is Lauren doing yoga with you? Let's see. I just got a text. Oh, Jenny's got her dog doing yoga with us. So pop in a note on the side and let me know if there's anything that you'd like me to focus on. Otherwise, I'm just going to stress the importance of doing a full body stretch. All right, we got some more peeps hopping on. Again, if you're just now joining, get some calming music. Would love to have, I've got some hot tea and so I'm going to give people, maybe it's 3:00 right now. I'm going to give people maybe another 30 seconds. Just get your space set up. If you would like to get your props. Again, I've got some couch cushions and some like throw pillows and stuff, but if you want to get some blankets, I have a longer sleeve shirt on because my word, it's cold out there. So not a lot of movement today. So again, let me know if you're here in the live chat. You can text me something that you would like to open or feel stretched out. Otherwise, we're going to get going in about 15 seconds. Okay. All right. Hi, Bill and Vicky. So my in-laws, father-in-law, mother-in-law, they have been so awesome and supporting me. So I'm going to give them a huge shout out. And my mother-in-law was like, when can I do some of these workouts that you're posting, because let's be honest, Sculpt is not for the faint of heart. So I was like, come join on Friday. So hi, I'm so glad you're here. Again, you don't have to have a mat even, but just get a space. I've got a bunch of cushions and pillows, and we're going to get started. So, all right. And we have someone that just texted that's going to join us in a few minutes. All right. So we're going to get started in your space. Again, nice, quiet, calm space. I'm going to move my mat just a little bit closer. I want you to get started on your back. So if you've got pillows nearby, you can do that. But I'm going to kind of hang in here with y'all, kind of help you get situated. But I just want you to start with your feet together, your knees out wide, all the way down on your back. So a couple of things here. I have tender knees, so I like to add, in the studio I use blocks, but you can use a pillow, anything to support your hips. It also supports the outsides of my knees right here, so bring your feet to touch. And then lower all the way down. So avoid putting anything under your head here, because that messes with your spine. So I want you to have a nice long flat spine here. Just bring your feet together and place your hands anywhere that's comfortable. Maybe you want one hand on your heart space, one hand on your belly. One hand, two hands helping your legs open up, whatever feels comfortable for you. So we're going to start right now, and we're going to be here for about 3 minutes. So while you're here, I want you to begin to think about your breath and your body, and how you can use your breath and your physical state right now to lengthen and deepen in your muscles. So every single time that you take an inhale, let your inhalations be that of length. So every single time you inhale, you're lengthening your spine, you're lengthening through your body, you're inviting breath in to fill up. And then every single time you exhale, sink a little bit deeper into your space. In my case, it's my mat. I'm going to sink my thighs a little bit deeper onto my pillows and sink my spine down a little bit deeper. Really focus. Try and let all of the other distractions just move out of the way. So right now, all you're doing is just having a nice, soft, gentle stretch. Should feel it on your inner thighs, maybe your outer hips. I'm going to get my calming music hooked on and turned up. You got about another minute and a half here. If you're not sure what calming music is for you, for me, it's piano. Love listening to gentle piano music. All right. We've got about 30 more seconds here. Wherever you are, just take some big, deep breaths. Open mouth exhale. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, release. And then if you'd like to, just keep your eyelids shut as you slowly, you cannot move too slowly in this class. Bring your knees together. As you bring your knees together, draw your knees in super tight and just press in and maybe even a little down. Maybe you want to give yourself some rocks side to side. That's fine too. Take a big breath in, draw your forehead into your knees. And exhale, let it go. And wherever you are, come on up to a seat. slowly, gently. Give yourself plenty of time to move. And sit up super tall. I'm going to sit just like this. Ground down your sits bones into your space wherever you are and sit up super tall. Make your spine nice and long. Place your right hand down on the side of your mat and inhale, reach your left arm up. And as you exhale, extend your left arm long. I want you to feel the whole stretch in your side body right here. If your right hand starts to become a little like, hey, now I'm holding up this weight and I'm reaching, grab a couple of pillows. You can feel free. Set your right hand on pillows as you reach across. Again, nothing should hurt. Nothing should be painful. You can use as many pillows as you'd like. Whatever you need to as props right now to help bring more comfort into your practice, that's what you do. Gently relax your shoulders. Keep your spine nice and neutral and just stretch. So your thoughts right now are probably, especially if this is the first time you've ever done anything like this, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my word, I'm going to have to do this for how much longer? And I'm just sitting here. So really try and just focus, take it like this whole class and break it down into like breaths. This next inhale, this next exhale. Try and stay super present, super mindful, super focused on just your breath. And maybe every single time you inhale, you lengthen through your spine. And every single time you exhale, you try and go just that much deeper toward the side. Even if it's an energetic reach. Kate, I think you're on here. I know you're reaching. Wherever you are, give yourself one more exhale stretch. And then as you reach up, place your left hand down. Maybe you want to bring your props to the other side because we're going to stretch out the other side. Place your left elbow down, maybe on your blocks. Inhale, reach your arm up, right arm up and off to the side. Try and tilt your rib cage up toward the ceiling as well as you reach. So as opposed to coming forward, you're opening a little bit. So you're opening through your side bodies. And stay heavy on your right glutes. So you're pushing down with your right side as you're reaching. So there's almost like that stretching feeling that you're getting in your side body. Just show up for yourself right now. Whatever do you need in this space? Again, if there's any numbing, tingling, any sort of weird sensations in your fingers, I tend to have a tendency to get that. You don't want to ignore that. If you're getting any of that, I want you to bring your hand closer to your heart center. You can still get a nice stretch by bringing your hand in closer to your body. I even will sometimes bring my hands down and set them right here. Still stretching. Still squeeze your shoulder blades together. Still reach off to the side. But you don't want to ignore that tingling pain in your arm if you get it. Got about another 30 seconds here. Wherever you are, exhale. Inhale, come on up to your center. Nice. Now I want you to extend your right arm long and turn your thumb down. So it looked like this. I'm going to bring my right arm back behind me. Sorry. So I had my thumb down. At first it's hard to do. And then it comes behind me like so. So now my thumb is up. reach around with your left hand and grab it. So I'm going to turn to the side. So this is what it looks like from the back view. So I'm actually holding my hand like so. All right, you got that, Vicki? I bet you've got it. You're in. So now you've got this nice little stretch here. Sit up super tall, and then exhale, shift your neck to the left, and you'll find it right now. You'll feel that sweet spot where it's like, oh, yep, there it is. You don't have to go far, and you're not set in stone with these moves. So maybe you're reaching your neck off to the side, and okay, you've worked out whatever you had, and now you're gonna find another little sweet spot, find another little kink. Try and keep your chin elevated as much as possible and your spine nice and long. Maybe you shut down your eyes and just breathe. Maybe you take this opportunity to think about absolutely nothing. And nothing has to be perfect here. The good news is nobody can see you. So make this be about what feels good in your body, not what looks perfect on the screen right now. Again, if you need to release, if it's too much, release your hands. Just feel the stretch. Find that sweet spot in your neck. And about another 30 seconds here. Give yourself 2 full deep breaths, like 5-6 seconds on your inhale. 6-7 seconds on your exhale. And one more just like that. Big breath in. Exhale. And if you've got your grip still, go ahead and release it. Bring your right arm back to center. Stretch out your neck, roll it out. Wherever you are, extend your left arm out this time. Palm down. Now I've got my hand here. My thumb is up. I'm holding my own hand. So I'm holding my left hand with my right, elbow back. So shoulders are square. Inhale, and then exhale. Reach off to your right. Still stay heavy in your left. Find that sweet spot. Oh my gosh. A lot of times I don't even think we realize how tight we are until we get into these poses and it's like, oh, I didn't even think my neck needed anything today. But man, now that I'm here, holy smokes, it feels so good. Be gentle with your body. This is not about trying to win. This is not about trying to see how far your neck can go. This is not about trying to be the best at anything. This is just feeling the stretch in your neck, feeling the stretch in your side body. Again, listen to the tingles, listen to any sharp stabbing pains if you're getting any of those. If you need to release your grip, bring your arm in front of you. Maybe your left arm's giving you some fits. Just leave your left arm back behind you to the side. You don't have to do anything that hurts or is uncomfortable. Got about another minute here. We're going to do some stuff sitting up for a little bit. And then we're going to lower all the way back down to our back, our bellies. And I want to get all of our sitting up stuff for the most part taken care of so we don't have to worry about it. And that'll be the hardest thing that we do. Sitting up. That's pretty good when the hardest thing that you have to do all day is sit up. Wherever you are, exhale. Take 2 giant breaths in and out. One more, just like that. Exhale. Inhale, release your grip on your hands if you've still got it. Gently unwind, shake your neck out. You can keep your eyes closed through all of this. There's nothing that says that you've got to watch me on the screen do this or watch your surroundings. Hopefully you're in a nice, quiet, peaceful place, right, wherever you are. So I'd like to point out that my hips are not very open. So this is something that I liked. I thought that was the doorbell. So this is something that I like to do to help me out. And everybody's going to look different. One of the things that you can do to help find a little bit more height in your hips, I'm going to take a pillow if you have a pillow, or you can take a block if you have a block. You can take anything that's comfortable basically for you to sit on. If you have a mat, you can roll up your yoga mat and sit on it to get a little bit of height. But just right here, if I can sit on it just a little bit more, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. It just allows my spine to get that much longer and for me to get a little bit more height. So open up. I'm going to turn this way so we can see. Open up. Good. And then inhale, take a big breath in. And exhale, fall forward. I have to use blankets, pillows, blocks, whatever, and hinge forward. And just relax. Relax your spine. And wherever you are, we're going to be here for 5 minutes. I like to point my toes up so I can feel a little bit more in my inner thighs. The cool thing about this pose is that, and Restore Yoga in general, is that your body just starts to get into it and get kind of out of that like, oh my gosh, what are we doing here? After about a minute and a half. So if you first arrive to this space right now and you're like, your body is, your legs, your hips are screaming at you. See, I've got 3 pillows now. That's completely okay. Again, as long as it's not painful. But maybe you drop your forehead down. And I'm going to cue you about halfway through your 5-minute mark and see if there's any more depth that you want to find. Maybe you can open up your legs a little bit wider. Maybe you can sink down a little bit deeper. So we carry so much emotion in our hips. It is absolutely unbelievable to think about it. And a lot of times I don't even think people realize how much emotion you're carrying in your hips, how much stress, how much anxiety that you're carrying in your hips until you have the opportunity to release a little bit. So as you're laying here right now, I want you to think about what extra, my kids have a word for it, junkus. If you've taken my class, you know that you've heard me talk about it. Junkus, I'm sure Vicky and Bill are laughing right now. Junkus, that's their grandparents, is anything that's too gross or too disgusting for my kids to touch or pick up or clean up or that they don't want to deal with. It's junkus. So if we say, hey, can you please go wipe the counter off? No, there's junkus on it. I'm not touching the junkus. So we all have junkus in our hips too. It's not physical. You cannot see it. But it's junkus in the adult form. Anxiety, stress, extra emotions, uncertainty, fear, worry. Carry that. So the opportunity here exists for you right now to release some of that junkus. Maybe you're letting someone else, by opening up your legs, by stretching through your hips, you're letting the universe clear off the junkus for you, making a little bit more room after you clear the junkus out for the things that do matter, like your family, time spent, evaluating what's most important during this critical time right now, and keeping all of those things intact while letting all of those silly things that don't matter go to the wayside. I recently had a birthday. I turned 25, if anybody is wondering. I know, fantastic for 25. And it was really weird because I didn't leave my house. But my husband surprised me with a Zoom call from our nearest and dearest friends that we've had over the course of the years. Friends from San Diego, friends from Texas, friends here. And kind of took my breath away. And I was super excited about it. And I didn't know it was happening until he popped it on. I mean, I had showered. I was in my watching show on our bed when he came in and said, "Here, surprise." But it was probably the highlight of birthday presents that I've had in a really, really, really long time. Now he's probably thinking, that's really all I have to do. But it's the simple things. That's the stuff that I want to keep around. That's the stuff that I want to clear out the junkus for so I can keep that kind of stuff around. Making more time for that kind of stuff and less time for the unnecessary junk that we don't need. You're about halfway through. And if you're feeling it, you want to open just a little bit deeper, find a little bit more depth. Maybe you do that by removing a pillow or a block or whatever you have. Maybe it's just the simple act of surrendering. Maybe you're holding on to something a little bit tighter. Maybe you just surrender right now. Surrender your shoulders. Surrender your jaw. Got about another 45 seconds here. I'm losing people. That's okay. Thanks for staying. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Come back up to your seated position. Move any props that you got in your way. Back up to the center, and we're going to lower all the way down onto our back now. We've come about halfway through, not quite. But before you lower down to your back, let's take some belly stuff first. I want you to flip over, come into a tabletop. So a tabletop position is basically all fours, where you stack your shoulders over your wrists, line your hips up over your knees. Keep your spine nice and long. Just take a big inhale, cow pose. Hammock your belly button down. Lift the crown of your head high. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. This is always really good for my low back after I sit with in that V shape. Inhale here. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck your chin in. Press your spine away. Inhale back to cow pose. Exhale back to cat. One more inhale, cow pose. One more exhale, cat. And inhale, come all the way back down to your neutral tabletop. Lower all the way down to your belly. So this time, we're going to come into what's called a Sphinx pose. So as you're laying right here, if you can see, I got my big toes almost touching. If your low back allows your big toes to touch, that is fantastic. And then see how my shoulders are lined up right over, really super close to my elbows. You can move. Hands are long. So basically, I'm like a Sphinx here. And the idea is to open up through your chest space here. And feel the stretch in your low back. If you feel any tenderness in your low back, right here, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes a little bit. Engage your glutes, tuck your pelvis down. So bring your pelvis down behind you. And then if you'd like, if you have anything, because we're going to be here for about 3 minutes, you are welcome to bring some pillows or blocks and rest your forehead. Make sure you can still breathe. Just relax. And continue to press your pelvis down into your mat. Engage your glutes if you'd like. Relax through your shoulders. And you can go as low or as high with your forehead as you'd like. You can drop your forehead down or lift it. Again, this is all about your comfort level, finding what works best in your body. If it's uncomfortable for your low back to have your toes touch, invite some space between your toes. You don't have to have your big toes touching. Again, think long, deep breaths. Lengthening on every inhale. Deepening on every exhale. This is a deep, heart opening pose. It can also be a pose of finding a lot of vulnerability. So maybe while you're here, think about those things that invite a little bit of vulnerability back into your day. What makes you vulnerable? Vulnerability is not a bad thing. Sometimes when we recognize it, I think we're able to open up a little bit more and say, oh yeah, that gives me the feels. I don't know if I like those feels or not. But being aware of it, knowing it's there, knowing it exists, knowing what exactly makes you vulnerable, it's not a bad thing. I know the first time that I did one of these videos, I was so nervous, and not like nervous teaching in front of in a studio or in my backyard or whatever. And my husband was like, "What in the world are you nervous for? You're in our living room. No one's here but you." I'm like, "I don't know, but it's just different." And I am at this point on the interwebs for an unforeseeable amount of time. And you're opening yourself up to judgment, maybe ridicule, maybe criticism, I don't know. But it was, I think, all of this unknown that I didn't know. Never recorded myself. I've done this before. And it was that feeling of vulnerability, like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm ready for this. But once I recognized that it was there, you embrace it and you move on. You either don't do it again or you do it again, you know? So you got about another 30 seconds here. Keep slow, deep breaths. Acknowledge what's making you feel vulnerable right now. Maybe nothing, maybe something. You don't have to shush it away. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, release, let it all go. I want you to extend all the way down onto your mat. You're just going to be here for a quick breath, but stack your forearms down and stack your hands on top of one another and place your forehead on the backs of your palms. Just lengthen out your spine. Give your spine a second or two to reset. Then whenever you're ready, bring your right knee up. I call this Spider-Man pose. It's one of my favorites. Bring your right knee up and your right elbow to me. Place your left cheek or your right cheek on your mat or your space. It depends on how much your neck wants to give you. But keep both shoulders heavy on your mat wherever you are. I'm going to turn to this side so my voice isn't muffled. But right now you've got a nice big stretch through your right hip. If you'd like a little bit more, move too as well. But basically you're in like a half frog pose right here. I want you to feel the stretch all through the outside of your hip. And straighten your left leg long. And we'll be here for about 4 minutes per side. Maybe you want to switch directions wherever your cheek is. I'm not going to do this because I think I don't know what my voice sounds like. So, but you can place your left cheek on your mat so you're facing your right side. Or if you want something a little bit more intense, you're welcome to turn your gaze and place your right cheek on your mat. It's totally up to you. This is one of my favorite poses to fall asleep in during a class. I could sleep like this. I do. And I want you to feel that whole stretch. If you fall asleep, you fall asleep. That's great. But if you're not asleep and you're on your mat in this space, I want you to be present. Again, you're releasing space in your hips and your shoulders, where we carry the most stress, where we carry the most junkus. What are you letting go of right now so that you can create space for? And what is the good stuff that you're creating space for? So fun fact, I think most of you know my children that are on here. I think they've used this time that mom's recording as a time as a free-for-all for snack time. I keep hearing like things getting unwrapped, whispers, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just kind of funny that they're like, oh, we know mom's not going to stop us while she's recording. You're about halfway through here. Continue with your deep breaths. We've got about 1 more minute left. Maybe right now you think about a favorite memory, a favorite time, favorite thing, a favorite smell, and take yourself back there mentally, emotionally, obviously not physically, but spiritually. What is it like? Where's your favorite place to be? Or what's your favorite memory? If you were there right now, or if you were with that person, what would you be doing? How would it feel? What would it be like? What would the weather be like? Wherever you are, take one more big breath in. And exhale, stretch your body out long. Extend your right leg long now. Your right arm long. Reset your spine. And then we're going to get the other side. So bend your left knee up towards your left elbow. Keep your right leg long. I'm going to turn to the other side so you can see it. So Spider-Man pose on this side. Again, option. Maybe you want to put a pillow or a block of support underneath your left knee. Maybe that helps your left knee come a little bit closer to your left elbow. Maybe you bring your left heel in tight or open it up a little bit towards your outer space. Play around with it. Does that give you more mobility? Does that give you a little bit more stretch? What does it feel like? Again, these poses aren't completely isometric. You don't have to hold them the whole time without moving. It's not the idea. You can be active and have an active stillness in these poses. So maybe you find what works best for you. Go, please. There's one little head. Maybe you find what works best for you. And you stay there. And then maybe you realize after a minute or two, oh, not working anymore. Getting a little tight, getting a little fidgety, not feeling it. Move around. I'm about halfway there. Again, go back to that favorite place, that favorite memory, whatever it is, your favorite time. Just allow yourself to escape there. Allow that to be your reality for just a little bit while you're taking this time out just for you. Got about 25 more seconds here, so that's enough time for you to give yourself 3 full deep breaths in and out. Wherever you are, straighten out your left leg. Bring your left hand over top of your right. And come on your mat. Lay flat on your forehead. Reset your spine. We're going to come into a child's pose or an embryo pose, your choice. So child's pose is where we take our 2 big toes to touch. Move the pillow out of the way. And my knees are about as wide as my yoga mat. And then hinge forward. And you can rest your forehead on your mat. You can rest it on a pillow or a prop or whatever you'd like. And then sink your hips back down toward your heels. If that's not accessible in your body, I completely understand. Another great option is to bring your knees closer together and then drape your upper body over your thighs and lower your head down onto a pillow or a block. Maybe you'll even relax your shoulders and bring your hands down, palms up. But surrender to this pose right now. Surrender to, if you've got your knees wide, surrender to the stretch in your inner thigh. Maybe surrender to what it feels like as you sink your glutes down closer to your heels. Again, if there's any discomfort in your knees, in your hips, any tingling, any pain sensation, bring your knees closer together or come up onto your forearms. We're going to be in this pose for about 2 minutes. We've been here for about a minute already. We're going to do one more bigger hip opening stretch, and then we're going to flip over onto our back. Stretch our hamstrings or glutes. Take one more big breath in wherever you are. If you've lowered your forehead down, that's great. Begin to make your way up into a tabletop position. We're going to come into runner's lunge. So in yin yoga, it's got another name, but basically what I've done here, that comes straight on so you can see it or at an angle. Bring your right foot up wide. Make sure that your right toes are in front of your right knees. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see it. So this is how it is. Then I've got my left leg extended long behind me. You can keep your left knee bent, or you can stretch through your hip flexor and go a little bit further. You can tuck, you can untuck your left toes. You can stay right here, or you can surrender down to your forearms, to a pillow, to 2 pillows, to 3 pillows, to 5, whatever you've got. But it's designed to feel a stretch here through the outside of your right hip. Maybe you want to add a little bit to it and you come to the outside of your right foot. Wherever you are, it's pretty much your baby, your choice, however you want to do that, as long as you keep your front toes in front of your knee. So this is a pretty intense stretch. Kate, if you're watching, this is for you. Kate loves doing this pose. In fact, I think she requests it every single time. I'm just kidding. She doesn't like to do it. She complains every single time we do it, but then she likes it when we're done. So, but I want you to really feel like this is prime time right now for gunkus release. You're getting rid of all the stuff you don't need in your right hip and probably in your left hip slightly as well. And I know this sounds crazy, and I know you think this is Crystal, you're so full of yoga woo-woo, but I want you to really, really, really focus your breath on your right side of your body right now. So as you're breathing, that's where you send your energy. That's where you send your thoughts. That's where you send your breath. Energetically, physically, all of those things. It really does help. I know it sounds crazy. but you've got this. We're only going to be here for about 2 minutes aside, just because it is pretty intense to be in this position for quite a long time. Also, while you're here, try and relax through your shoulders. I know it's hard. Try and relax your jaw. Try and unfurrow your brow. What would happen if you softened all of those areas and just kind of melted into your space? Does it feel different? We've got about 30 more seconds. Keep breathing. You're good. Not too much longer. You can do this. Take one more big breath in. One more deep breath out. And slowly, if you surrender down to your forearms or down to a pillow, come back up to your palms. Slowly invite a generous bend and bring your right leg behind you. If it helps, extend your right leg long behind you like this, so you can see. I kind of like to do this and then maybe stretch your hip, lift it, open it, draw it, do some circles. Whatever your body needs right here, just feel the stretch. I'm going to turn to the other side, and whatever we do on one side, we do on another. So this time, left leg comes forward, right leg goes long. Keep your right toe, or your left toe, sorry, in front of your left knee. You may choose to stay right here. You may choose this time on this side. Maybe you give it a little bit more elevation because that's what your body needs. Or conversely, maybe your left side is a little bit more open and you can lower down. Maybe you want to feel a little bit more on this side. So it's hard to have strength and flexibility all at the same time. So generally, I think my right hip is stronger, but my left hip is a little bit more flexible. So my left hip somehow can manage to do things that my right hip can't, but my right hip can hold more. I'm right-handed, so I think that's part of it. So you may notice that same sensation, whether it's your right or your left side. That doesn't mean anything's off. That doesn't mean anything's wrong. That just means that's you. So embrace the differences in your sides. You're not a robot. You're a human being who is not completely symmetrical, and it's going to feel different on each side. So instead of going, oh my gosh, the other side, I was so much more this, and now I'm this. Just acknowledge, observe, and move on. Send your breath where you're feeling tight and go from there. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. You're about 1 minute in. You can do this for one more minute. Maybe this is the hardest thing you do all day. If you're huffing and you're puffing, send your breath down to your left side. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. About 20 more seconds here. One more big breath in. And wherever you surrendered down to before, come back up to your palms. Slide your hips back. Gently and slowly, again, there are no gold stars handed out for moving fast. Extend your left leg behind you, stretch out through your left leg. Maybe you tuck your left toes, you go back and forth, rock back and forth. Maybe you lift your left hip, open it, bring it close. Whatever you want to do right now. When you're ready, slowly, you can keep your eyes closed this whole time. I want you to lower down all the way down onto your back. Yay, we've made it. We're not getting up off of our mat until this class is done. How awesome is that? I want you to have it laid all the way down. Now, if you have a wall handy, that's great. If you don't, I don't know everybody's space. So if you know exactly what I'm talking about and you want to go legs up the wall, Jenny or Kate or Sharon, go for it. So legs up the wall basically is where you scoot your booty all the way up to the base of the wall and stick your legs straight up. Again, I don't know where everybody's space is. Mom and dad-in-law, I don't know where you are, but here's another option for you. You can just lay down flat on your back, extend your legs up. Option to bring your pillow and let your pillow slide right under your low back and just relax right here. If you have a towel or anything handy, you can wrap it around your legs and feel the stretch through your hamstrings this way. This would be, if you don't have a wall handy, this would probably be my recommendation right here. Grabbing some sort of hand towel, sweat towel, old t-shirt, strap of some sort, whatever you can find. Draw your toes towards your face and just relax. We're going to be here for about 4 minutes, 5 minutes total. We've been here for about a minute already. Maybe you've got your calming music still going. Maybe you've got your eyes closed. Maybe you're feeling complete and total relaxation right now with your legs up wherever you are in your space. And if you're not completely and totally relaxed, that's fine too. It's your body. Make the best of the situation that you're in right now. If you need to move, move. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. Make this about your comfort level, not necessarily what the virtual yoga instructor is saying to do. And you got about another minute here. If your hands are free, place one hand on your belly, like where your belly button is, and one hand over your heart space. And just feel your breath help your belly rise and fall. Feel your heart beating inside your chest. Feel that connection between your mind and your body and your breath right now. What are you thankful for today? What are you grateful for? What are some of those good things, those memories, those surprise Zoom calls on your birthday or whatever it is to you? What are those things? What are those things that you want to keep with you? And what are some things that you want to let go of? I personally want to try and figure out a way to make sure that we continue to slow down our pace of life. It may not happen after our new normal emerges again. We're probably going to go back to running and gunning. But boy, have I enjoyed the slowness of how life is. Cutting the meeting times and the places that we have to be almost to nothing, except for virtual class meetings every now and then, virtual appointments, teaching a lot less, but those classes that I'm teaching are a lot more meaningful. There's something to be said about all of that. Wherever you are, take one more big breath in. Exhale, release. Okay, so if you are up against the wall, everybody's got different options here. You're up against the wall. We're gonna take a twisting. So if your legs are up, go ahead and move your space just a little bit away and draw your knees off to your left together. If you are not up against the wall and you're just flat on your mat because you had your legs up in the air, that is great too. Extend your left leg long, bend at your right knee, and draw your right knee across your body. So every single time I do this pose, supine twist, I place something underneath my right knee. The goal is not to drop your right knee all the way down to the space. It's actually to keep both shoulder blades heavy on your space, so heavy on my mat, and then feel the stretch through the side of your body. You can goalpost out your arms like so. You can stretch them out. You can bring them up over your head. I actually, in a studio, like more than one layer of support underneath my knee. So my hips are stacked on top of one another right now. And if you can see it, I'll turn to the side so you can see my shoulders. But actually, both of my shoulders are heavy on the mat. So as my right leg goes across, my right shoulder stays down. It doesn't come up, so it stays down. That may be that your right knee looks just like this, and that's okay. You're stretching these muscles right here around your spine, right in through here. We're going to be here for about 2.5 more minutes. Then we'll switch to our left side. Then we'll wrap it up. I always feel like restorer yoga classes need to be like 2 hours long. I know Jenny does too. There's just never enough time to get it all as good as you'd like. Oh, I just lost my connection for a little bit. I think it came back on. Sorry about that if anybody lost it. But wherever you are, slowly bring your breath back to the present. Draw your right knee into your chest and bring both knees together on your back and squeeze. Bring your props or whatever you have with you to support your left knee. And then lower your left shoulder back down to your mat. Again, this side may feel different. This side may be more or less flexible than the side you were on before, and that's okay. I'm gonna grab my hot tea here. It was too hot at class start, and I bet it's cooled down quite a bit. It's probably lukewarm tea now. But wherever you are, lukewarm tea. Just feel the stretch in your left side. Got about another minute and a half here. So right now, maybe as you're twisting, you're detoxing. I like to think of a twist as like a sponge, and you're wringing out. So as you wring everything out, all that stuff that we talked about today, stuff that you don't need anymore, stuff that maybe you've come to realize this time of lots of togetherness with your family, social distancing, stuff that maybe you had before the social distancing, before 2020, you realize, you know what, I haven't had that for a really long time and I don't need it anymore. So wring all that excess out. And then you notice maybe you're a little bit lighter. What extra stuff can you absorb right now? Extra tenderness, extra empathy, extra concern for fellow human beings, others, the well-being, health, and safety of your neighbors, your loved ones. I don't think I'll take that for granted ever again. Wherever you are, draw both knees into your chest once more and give yourself a big, huge squeeze. Draw your forehead in to meet your knees. Inhale here. And then exhale into your Shavasana, whatever your Shavasana looks like to you. Shavasana typically means that you're laying flat on your mat. It's called corpse pose in yoga. You can lay flat on your mat. I like to have my toes to touch, palms up so you're able to receive. If you're still near a wall, you can finish with your legs up a wall. You can finish with your heels touching, your knees out. But I'm going to call you back in about 2 minutes. See if you can lay completely still and quiet this next 2 minutes in Shavasana. Wherever you are, just bring your thoughts back to your mat, your thoughts back to the present moment. And when you're welcome, to start adding movements back into your day, but you certainly don't have to right now. You can stay just as you are. And just do a scan of your body from your toes all the way up to the crown of your head and note how you feel. Try and note how you feel without any judgments on yourself, any harshness, any criticisms. Just note how you feel in your physical body. Just observe. And then take your thoughts inward and note how you feel. Do you feel more relaxed emotionally? Do you feel more relaxed mentally? You feel less anxious? Just notice. You feel relaxed? Do you feel anxious? What do you feel? And then wherever you are, you can reach your hands up over your head. Take a big full body stretch. Take in all the air you can and slowly exhale it out. And when you're ready, turn your body to your right side for supported fetal position. So tuck your knees in tight. You're laying on your right side, resting your right head on your bicep. Take a big breath in. And exhale. On your exhale, slowly press yourself into a seated position. And once you get there, it can be whatever position you'd like. Bring your hands together. Bring your hands to your heart space this time. And maybe the edge of your thumbs right here in your hands, you can feel your heart beating inside your chest. Maybe you can't. Try and connect with that. Try and find a little bit of extra heart space for your weekend. A little bit of extra love, a little bit of extra kindness, a little bit of extra sense of humanity and caring about those around us. And then maybe you determine what is most important and what can we leave by the wayside? What junkus did we just clear out so we can have a lot more room for the things that do matter when our new normal emerges? When you're ready, draw your hands to your third eye center, your thumbs to your third eye center. It's our third eye chakra. It's our space of intuition, wisdom. And I have to say, I feel so energetically connected to each and every single one of you who showed up today, and I'm so grateful for it. So grateful for your support, for your love, for your genuine care and concern, not only for one another, but for yourself, for showing up and doing this. So the light in me sees and honors, respects, and is truly humbled by the light inside each and every single one of you. Namaste. All right, thank you, everybody. Okay, have a good one. Bye.